Hello, or morning should I say. So it's the morning after the day before. I've woken up with a little bit of a cough. I'm trying to shake it at the moment, but forgive me if you hear me coughing a little bit. So anyway, we're in the workshop and we're just checking out our little things we've epoxied, and these have cured completely fully. So that's beautiful, look at that. Needs a bit of a sanding down, to be honest with you. And then what I'll probably do is give that a little bit of a varnish over the top once we've got the cup put in. So that'll be the next job, actually getting the little cup drilled into that hole. Here's the bumpkin that we stripped all the way down, and that's looking rather splendid as well. Completely epoxied. There's a few little bits on there might need doing again. Just a second coat. So I don't know. Oh, we did catch some of the string in there. That's not good. Don't know if we need to do another coat. I'll refer it to the internet. But that's looking really good and completely dried overnight, or cured overnight. Let's move my coffee. And here's the box. So here's the inside. It's just like one kind of lovely sort of smooth kind of box, which is great news. Looks really well sealed. I think this needs another coat, so I'm going to give that another coat today. And on the outside, I think we need to give this a coat as well. So if you look at so we did, when we were doing the outside of the box, we had it like this. Now, where I've had this flat face upwards, this seems really nicely epoxied, and there's got a little coating of epoxy, whereas these side ones haven't. So they obviously, I can't put it on as thickly on the sides. But it is literally going to take me all week to just epoxy one side and then flip it over, epoxy the other side. It's going to take me a week to do that. So I'm hoping we can leave it like this, or maybe we could do one side. I don't know. The other, no, we can't. This is the only way we can do it, because otherwise we can't do one of the faces. But I think we sand this down and we give it another little epoxy, or maybe a couple of coats of epoxy, and that'll be done. Once we've done that, we can then turn our attention to the insides, the lid and the shelf there. But things are going really well so far. I decided not to sand the bumpkin yesterday. I don't know why, but I didn't. I've also got the gaff to sand and do the little reefing blocks on as well. So I think what we'll do, we'll get the gaff and the bumpkin ready to go for a sanding, and we'll wait for some more dry weather, possibly tomorrow. Okay, that's another coat on the bumpkin, another coat on the tiller holder, and I've actually done the inside of the box, and I had a bit left, so I didn't want to waste it. So I've just done 1, 2, 3 sides, just this side not done on the top, so we'll do that tomorrow. Or at least when this cures, could be later today. So that's as much epoxying as I can do today. Yeah. So let's go find something else to do. Here's the gaff. It's been sitting in my garage very quietly, doing nothing, saying nothing. But as you can see, it does need a little bit of attention. It's very similar to the mizzen, I would say, probably in worse condition, where you can see this mould beginning to set in underneath the varnish. If you leave it like that, it'll turn into the mast. Obviously the mast is now nicely sanded. Quite proud of that. So what I need to do is just work out how this sail is attached, and it looks like it's just, I think they call it a sailor's hitch, this. Let's try and get that round. That sort of where you wrap it round and back over itself. So it's just hitched on like that. At the top, it is, yeah, okay, that's kind of an interesting knot on the top there. And then let's go have a look at the bottom. At the bottom, I think it's just the sail is just attached, yeah, by way of this pin here. Let's have a little look. Yeah, it's just a little clevis pin through the bottom there, and then that's where this hitch is then started from. It's actually quite loose, that hitch in general. Now, the reason I need to take the sail off is obvious, but the other reason, there's two other reasons are, I want to put another set of chocks in for reefing. So I'm gonna measure those up. It should be 3 foot 1 inch from this one, but we're going to measure the sail as well, just to double check where the reef is in the sail before we do it up. So loads to do there. Let's crack on. First of all, we just got to release this. Now, I'm doing this video as much for you as I am for myself. I'm not going to tell any lies here. I need to know how to put this sail back on properly. So yeah, I think if we turn our attention to the top here first, it is like an obstacle course in this, in the back cave for me at the moment. So let's have a look what's going on here. So first of all, the sail seems to be connected. So first of all, the sail seems to be connected by this just separate line, and then here's the line that comes up through here and through there. So let's remove this line first. So that's got like a load of kind of rolling hitches on it. 1, 2, 3. This would maybe explain why the sail's a little bit loose with this, but actually it's been held up quite tightly with this separate line. And there's a 4th one. I'm not sure if this is the conventional way of doing this. A 5th one. So it comes around and we're just doing these rolling hitches. Then it goes under there, and then we've gone through there, through the sail, through the top, and then we're onto the hitch there. So, by the way, I think this is called a sailor's hitch, but I do struggle to remember all the things. So we'll take this hitch out. Let's see if we can see this. Okay, we're down at the bottom here now. Now, this is now just attached via a loop, or looks like a bowline. And here, let's move you over here. Let's see, and here we've just got a little clevis pin. I was doing some DIY at the weekend and I was drilling and I just caught my finger. Nothing to shout home about, but when you're trying to do clevis pins and you get bits of stray fiberglass in it when you're sanding the box I'm making, and it's not nice at all. So let's put that back in there, because the worst thing will be losing that. I've either not got the right technique for these things, or they are just difficult. So that won't go missing now. And now I've just got to undo this. So yeah, I don't know why you've got both, but this line is just sort of old string. So this, yeah, this is rotting, look. So that wasn't really up to much anyway. So I do have a copy of the Drascombe, the Lugger manual, which does teach you how to do all the knots and that and whatnot, and to tack the boat up. So there's a few little areas like this that I need to just double check. And of course there are more modern ways of doing this now, so you know, with shackles and things like that. But this mainsail never really needs to come off the gaff. It doesn't really need to come off it at all, does it really? There we go. There we are. There we go, and there's a bow line on the end of there, but wait, I imagine I could, I imagine I could snap that off easily enough, he says, but No, I can't do that. I haven't got my knife with me, so that'll have to just come off when it comes off. So there's a screw here we're just going to take off. We'll see if we can get this galvanised. I think they're called jaws, gaff jaws off. I'm always amazed at how little things are secured, you know, just one screw. Now will that slide off? Oh, it's very loose now. Yep, that looks like it'll slide off. It is coming off, there we go. So I like to inspect under there. Looking quite healthy, that is. Obviously the gaff doesn't spend an awful lot of time in the water. Has to contend with a bit of rain now and again. And I think I may have dipped it in the water once or twice. Now I need to keep this screw safe, so I'll just pop that in my pocket, and I'm going to take the gaff jaws. I'm going to take the gaff jaws back into the office and see if we can give them a clean up. Okay, good. So here's the mainsail, and this is the clew. I think that's the clew, the bit that attaches near the mast. And then this is where the first reef is. So we're just going to measure this, and let's just get that a little bit flatter. Yeah, and that is 36 inches, taking into account the buckle. So I think if you measure eye centre to eye, that is actually 37. Because that's where the line, I don't know if you can see that, this piece at the bottom here is where the line would attach. So that is 3 feet and 1 inch. So that does concur with my sort of instructions that I've got. So there's the gaff. I've just stacked it on top of the mizzen mast at the moment. Surprisingly, that is literally the same height as the mizzen mast. I didn't realise that. I thought it was, I don't know whether I thought it was bigger. I didn't think it was the same size anyway. So we now know that we need to make these jaws. So this is the bottom of the mizzen mast, and it would be hoisted, so this bit would be in where the pulley is, or the block on the mast. Now to make it higher, we need a pair of these further up, so that would thus shorten the sail. So we need to measure that distance of 37 inches up here, and that would be the position of where our chocks would be, a bit further probably. So those who don't know, this is the Pettigrews website. It's pettigrews.org.uk, and it's just some guy. He's quite old. He's not posted for years and years, but what's on here, particularly if you go down the list of projects here, there's loads of stuff here that can really help you with your lugger. And in particular, I'm looking for the gaff, not that one, this one. In particular, I'm looking at this one to help me with my gaff. Now, this was the one, Mark II mainsail. Now, if you look at this a little bit more closely, you can see that the reefing point should be 3 foot 1 inch, which is bang on for me. And this wedge, if we now go to the other picture down here, you'll see that the first wedge is here at 4 feet with the gaff jaws here. And the second wedge, the bottom of the wedge point should be 3 foot 1 from the bottom of the wedge point here. So that's pretty simple. And it also even gives you like some dimensions for your wedges here, which is just incredible really, isn't it? So there we go. We've got to make a pair of these, and then we've got to kind of stick them in here.